Hello students, welcome back. Our today's topic is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. This lecture include the following points for the discussion. The first one is introduction of the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Statement of Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Position momentum uncertainty relation. Energy time uncertainty relation, and application of uncertainty principle, and it include the non-existence of free electron in the nucleus. Now we see what is the introduction about the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Specifically, to know the particle's motion, we must know its position and velocity at the same time. But the wave nature of the microscopic particle makes it impossible to know with finite precision about how the atomic matter moves and how to locate the position of particle like electron. The answer to that question was explained by Heisenberg in 1927, and he suggests uncertainty principle. This principle is one of the postulates of quantum mechanics. It introduces about the new ideas about the measurement of the physical quantities like position, momentum, and energy time. To discuss how we measure this physical quantity using that Hedges principle, for that purpose, firstly we choose a narrow wave group or a sharp Hedge pulse. In that sharp pulse or a narrow wave group, the distance of that Hedge peak is very small here. Within that Hedge region, it is possible to know the definite position of the particle, or we say this position of the moving particle we clearly define, but the wave properties becomes unclear. Consider the another wave packet, which is a wide wave group. Here that wave group we just drawing here, and it gives a wide region of that Hedges group which extend from one end to other end. Within that Hedge region, we cannot define the exact position of the moving particle, means no precise position, but it clear the wave properties. These wave properties are just like we define in terms of the wavelength, and as we know the wavelength, it is possible to find the momentum of the moving particle and energy. Now just see here the first case, this narrow wave group or the sharp Hedges pulse, we clear the position of the moving particle since that Hedge region of Hedges peak is very small here. But the wave properties like the wavelength we cannot define clearly, since beyond that Hedges sharp Hedges peak no wave is propagated, and therefore we cannot define clearly its wavelength. And if the wavelength is unclear, then it is impossible to measure the momentum of the moving particle, since the wavelength of the matter wave is related to the momentum. Lambda is equal to h by p, and therefore the momentum is not definite or not very precise. But in the second case, in a wide wave group region, that here the region becomes wide, and within that here this region, it is impossible to predict the exact position of the moving particle. But the wave properties, like the wavelength of that here the wave, we define clearly, since beyond that central here the region of that here this group, the wave is propagated, and therefore we clearly define its wavelength. And if the wavelength is known, then its momentum becomes more accurate. Here, these two examples we explaining about the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. In the first case, if the position becomes more and more clear, but the momentum is unclear, means it is not precisely defined. But in the second case, in the wide wave group, the position is not clear, but the momentum of the moving particle is clear, since wavelength is clearly defined. Hence, in that here this article, we are going to discuss the two separate relations: the position momentum uncertainty relation and energy time uncertainty relation. The first relation we discuss firstly, Heisenberg's uncertainty principle and its statement. Now, how we give the statement of the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle? It is impossible to know both the exact position and exact momentum of a particle at the same time. Or in the other word, it's stated as one cannot measure the position coordinates and corresponding momentum of the particle simultaneously with an arbitrary accuracy. Now, what is the meaning of these two statements? We discussed earlier by discussing narrow wave group and wide wave group. For the narrow wave group, we clearly define the position of the moving particle, but the wavelength or the momentum is not clear. Means if the one term we measure more and more correctly, other term becomes more and more uncertain, or there are some errors in the measurement of these here the terms here. And therefore, the statement we just write here, it is impossible to know both the exact position and exact momentum of a particle at the same time. Or these two terms, position and momentum, we cannot measure simultaneously with an arbitrary accuracy. That here the statement is known as Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. The first uncertainty relation related to position and momentum, that here the relation implies that if one try to determine the position coordinate x more and more accurately, means there are no error, that here these terms we measure more correctly, means uncertainty in the measurement of the position of the moving particle tends towards 0. means there are no error in the measurement of the position of the moving particle, and that error tends towards 0, means the measurement of the position of the coordinate becomes more and more accurate or the definite. But on the other hand, the corresponding momentum becomes more and more uncertain, means momentum of the moving particle we cannot define clearly. Then what happens? The measurement of the momentum in that physical term has maximum error, and that error tends towards infinity, means delta px tends towards infinity. Hence, if delta x, that terms tends towards 0, it becomes more and more uncertain. Delta x tends towards infinity, means delta x becomes accurately, but delta px becomes unclear. Or both the terms never tends towards 0 or infinity simultaneously. Means what? Delta x tends towards 0 and delta px never tends towards 0. Both terms never tends towards 0. Or otherwise, delta x tends towards infinity, delta px tends towards infinity, it impossible. Hence, mathematically, the Heisenberg's uncertainty relation related to position and momentum are represented as delta x into delta px always equal to or greater than h cross or h cross by 2. Now what is delta x? Delta x is uncertainty in measurement of the position of the moving particle. Delta px, uncertainty in the measurement of the momentum of the moving particle along the same axis. And the product of these two terms, one term tends towards 0, other term tends towards infinity, or vice versa. That product of the two terms is always equal to or greater than h cross by 2. What is h cross? H cross is the reduced Planck constant. That term we used earlier. H cross is equal to h divided by 2 pi. Or simply delta x delta px greater than or equal to h simply. Generally, we write here the h cross by 2. Similarly, along the y-axis and z-axis, the relations are delta y delta py is greater than or equal to h cross by 2, and delta z delta pz greater than or equal to h cross by 2. That relation is satisfied any along one axis, whether x-axis or y-axis or z-axis. But as we see, the two terms never tends towards 0 or infinity. It is impossible. Means delta x delta py must be equal to 0. Delta x tends towards 0, delta py along y-axis, it is whether it is tends towards 0 or infinity, but these two x and y-axis are perpendicular to each other. Therefore, delta x delta py is always equal to 0. Only along any one direction, the product of delta x and delta py is always finite, and that finite term is equal to or greater than h cross by 2, whether x-axis, y-axis or z-axis. Now these relations are known as position, momentum, uncertainty relation. Uncertainty is the possible error. That error becomes minimum, means delta x tends towards 0. Other term delta p x, y, px, that error tends towards infinity, means it is uncertain, it is unclear if delta x is clear or vice versa. If we say the delta x is unclear, delta px is clear, then only the product of the two terms is always greater than or equal to finite term equal to h cross by h2. These relations we see, these are known as position, momentum, uncertainty relation. Second relation, energy, time, uncertainty relation. Now, what is that energy, time, uncertainty relation? Energy time principle is that a quantum state that exists for only a short time cannot have definite energy. Such a relation is mathematically represented as delta E delta T is always greater than or equal to h cross by 2. What is delta E? Uncertainty in the measurement of energy of the moving particle, and corresponding time t, there is a delta, here the t. Delta t, uncertainty in the measurement of the time. Delta E, uncertainty in the measurement of energy. Such a energy time uncertainty relation, it states that the product of uncertainty delta E in the measurement of energy and uncertainty delta T in an measurement of the time is equal to or greater than h cross by h2. Now, how we get that relation? For that purpose, we know earlier relation, position momentum relation. Delta E delta px is approximately equal to h. Now we suppose energy for moving particle along the x-axis, that energy is px square by 2m. We differentiate this equation. Delta E equal to p square, that is we write the twice px, delta px divided by 2m. 2 get cancelled. And momentum we define m into velocity, mass into velocity, velocity along the same axis. Therefore, mvx into delta px divided by m. M cancel and we get vx into delta px. Now we simplify this equation by multiplying delta t on both sides. The equation becomes delta E delta t is equal to Vx delta Px delta t. Here Vx delta Px, what it represents? That relation we just writing here. Vx delta t, that is the velocity into time interval, that we write the delta x directly. That is Vx delta t delta x into delta px is approximately equal to h. And therefore, generally we write the relation delta E delta t is greater than or equal to h cross or h cross by h2, and that is the energy time uncertainty relation. Now we go to the next point, application of uncertainty principle. Specifically, we explain the non-existence of the free electron in the nucleus. How we explain that term? Means electron does not exist in the nucleus, and that we prove with the help of uncertainty relation. Suppose the radius of nucleus is of the order of 10 raised to minus 15 meter. If the electron exists in the nucleus, then what is the uncertainty in the position delta x of the electron, that position of electron in the nucleus, it gives its possible error in the measurement of its position. It must be approximately equal to or greater than 10 raised to minus 15 meter. Means delta x equivalent to 10 raised to minus 15 meter. Delta x is the uncertainty in the position, and corresponding delta p is the uncertainty in the momentum of the electron that we have to calculating here. We use the uncertainty principle. Delta x delta px is approximately equal to h cross. What is delta x? Delta x is the uncertainty to measure the position of the electron in the nucleus, and if the nucleus has the radius equal to 10 raised to minus 15 meter, then the electron must be, its position must be greater than 10 raised to minus 15 meter or approximately equal to 10 raised to minus 15 meter. This is the delta x here. Now we separate delta p from position momentum relation. Delta p is equal to h cross divided by delta x. What is h cross? Is the reduced Planck constant, h divided by 2 pi. Therefore the h Planck constant 6.62 into 10 raised to minus 34 divided by 2 multiplied by pi into delta x 10 raised to minus 15 meter. Now we simplify this numerator and denominator by putting this pi 3.146 here. Delta p becomes 1.05 into 10 raised to minus 19 kilogram meter per second. As electron have this much momentum, then that here this momentum must have velocity comparable to the velocity of light. As we know, the momentum has comparable velocity equal to the velocity of the light, then it is possible to find total kinetic energy of the electron, and that total energy of the electron we calculate using relativistic formula. That formula we know, we used earlier. E is equal to square root of m0 c raised to 4 plus p square c square. Put the value rest mass of the electron 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kilogram. Velocity of the light 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Momentum that we have to calculate here 1.05 into 10 raised to minus 19 bracket square c square. Simplify the bracketed gauge term and take its square root. We get the simplified energy, total energy, kinetic energy of the electron using the relativistic formula is 197 mega electron volt. Now this value is the theoretical result is 197 mega electron volt here. But what is its experimental value? Total kinetic energy of the electron. That experimental result you must know that. Hence, experimental observation shows that average energy of the beta particle emitted from the nucleus have energy about 2 to 3 mega electron volt. Alpha particles are nothing but here these electrons. These are emitted from the nucleus. This is the experimental result, and it shows that energy is near about 2 to 3 mega electron volt. This experimental result is very small as compared to theoretical result 197 mega electron here they hold. Therefore, it confirmed that free electron does not exist in the nucleus, and this is the one of the application of Heisenberg's uncertainty relation. In this last point, we discuss the Heisenberg's uncertainty relation, its statement, and two relations: position, momentum, uncertainty relation, that is delta x, delta px. The product of the two term is always finite, means delta x, delta px greater than or equal to h cross by 2, similarly along y-axis and z-axis. And energy time relation, delta E, delta Agt is greater than or equal to h cross by Ag2. These both here the relations. Using these relations, Heisenberg's uncertainty relation, we prove that how the free electron does not exist in the nucleus. And here we completed this topic. In the next this lecture, we continue the next this unit. Before that,